Welcome, 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 Highlanders. Um, Welcome to a very, very special day in Highlander country because our very own Sister Jackie Gaines, the author, the authorist, um, is here today to interview with us about her book. Okay, her book. He thought, she thought, they thought. Um, Now you can purchase this book on over 1,000 online bookstores, right? Or is it hundreds of thousands, but all the online bookstores. But the most notable ones, right? The today modern days, Amazonbooks.com and Barnes and Noble books.com. So run out to please purchase her book. So we'll be having an interview today, and I want to start this interview off with, well, first let me just say hi to everybody. Hello, Melanated. He thought, she thought, they thought by Jackie Gaines, available at Amazon, Google Books, and a plethora of other platforms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace and LBC. Hey, Barb, my Maze. Thank you, all of you for showing up. Sean in the cut. I'm very excited today. I am very excited today and a little bit nervous. Can y'all tell? Because I just want to do it right. Hi, Daniel Barry. Peace in the LBC. Okay, we're going to start this interview off with an insert from our sister Jackie Gaines' interview with Dr. Angela Butts. Okay, and she does the Daily Spark with Dr. Angela, and this is episode 532. So we're going to start off with that first. Here we go.
That is, would you say that your book is appropriate for someone as young as high school, or should they perhaps be college age? Do they need a little bit more life experience to be able to follow along?
Actually, I intended the book to be for teenagers, but actually it could be for everyone because when you think about it, our teenagers today are seriously different from the teenagers in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Technology has taken over, and critical thinking is almost obsolete in many cases. We have peer pressure with drugs, the bullying, and anything else you can think that high schoolers are going through today. A lot of times when these kids are in high school, they don't really have anyone to go talk to. So that was my main focus as who I wanted the book to be intended for, but it could be intended for couples and singles as well.
Oh, I like that. That is a way that something that you could do together to read the book and be able to talk about it and have that a part of your couples time. I like that you included that aspect of it as well.
Okay, without further ado, here's our very own Arthur in Highlander country with us to share her experience, Sister Jackie Gaines. Everybody give her an applause. How are you doing? Are you there?
I'm there. There's feedback. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Oh, maybe it sounds like there's an echo, but let me see if I can do something. Let me do the echo cancellation and take that off. Uh-oh. I think she'll be back. Hey, Em Renee. Hey, Sincere Citus, stopping through to show support to you and my good sis Jackie Gaines. I'm at work. Oh, okay. Thank you. Something happened. I think she dropped off. But she will be back, of course. Okay. But let me just go into some things. That what I just played a few minutes ago was part of an interview that Sister Jackie gave, and I believe this is probably down around like the latter part of March. I want to say about 3 weeks ago. This interview took place. Or at least was aired. I want to say because sometimes you do the interview and then it'll get aired later on. Um, so Sister Jackie did this interview with Dr. Angela Butts Chester, okay? Or is it Chester? I don't know why I made a Cheshire cat. I'm not certain. Uh, and I wanted to ask her when she comes back, well, one of my questions would have been actually, who was the book geared towards? And so in this insert, we get to see that this book is for everybody. It is for teenagers, right? Well, I don't want to say maybe young kids, but it is a book that can be read, right, to younger children. It is for couples. It is for individuals. It is an all-encompassing book, and that's really great, right? And we need more of those type of books that can be shared amongst our family, and with our friends, and things that we can speak to, like going back into the days of when we all kind of sat down around the table, or well, for dinner, what have you, had conversations about things. I think it brings a uniqueness for families and couples to where they can have a shared experience, right? We don't have so many of those shared experiences like we used to. Now everything is very technology driven, very individualism is driven that way. But we're never talking about what it takes to bring people together. So our sister Jackie, refresh? Okay, let me refresh. Hold on one second. Like, what is happening on both ends? This is unfortunate. Unfortunate. If you don't fix your audio, woman. My audio's messed up? Okay, here we go. Hold on one second. Mm-mm. Thank you, Joe. Very nice of you to tell me. I Okay. Can you guys hear me now? I hope so.
I hear,
Sister
I hear you
Jackie, can you
fine.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Do you know what happened? How what happened? The connection?
No, I'm not quite sure what happened, but I went out and came back in, so I don't know what happened. But I'm here.
Oh, okay. That's good. First of all, I want to say I'm very happy that you're here because you don't always hit the link. And so having you up here has me very excited. I am again, here we go. Again, I don't know what's happened. There's a stability issue. Um Incredible Hawk. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're good. All right. So let me go ahead into Sister Jackie's back again. Where is
I don't
I?
know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps kicking me out. But I'm here.
Do you have your fingers anywhere? Like, are you kicking your
No,
own self out?
no, it just dropped me twice, but I'm here.
It dropped you? What's
Yeah,
happening?
I'm here.
Um, hmm.
I'm here. So let's go ahead and see what goes on this time. I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
How
we're
about,
ready.
do you want me to drop the link and then, so StreamYard is messing up? Oh, okay. Because I was going to drop the link.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I guess it is messing up because I'm not quite sure, but I'm here. We can go ahead and get started.
Okay, well, let's go forward.
Okay.
So one of my questions that I was going to ask you, first of all, I'm going to say this was a very, very nice interview with you and Dr. Was it Cheshire?
Chester. Dr.
Chester.
Angela Chester, Chester.
And now her show is called The Daily Spark, correct?
That is correct. That's the name of her show. Correct.
Okay. So one of the questions I had is that the interview took or was set out into the atmosphere about 3 weeks ago. So that's probably like at the end of March, correct? Like the maybe the 25th of March or so on. But did you interview prior to it being released, or was this all kind of like in one fell swoop?
No, the actual interview was done on February 15th and it aired on March 21st.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's like a whole month later. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And I suggest that everybody go see it. Um oh my God. If you could, Melanated, could you drop the link for Dr. Angela Butts, Butts Chester? It's episode 532. It should be there with Jackie Gaines. You should be able to see it. It is probably very straightforward. I hate that I didn't have that part of it together, but I apologize. I apologize, Sister Jackie. So
That's
here,
okay.
but let's go into the questioning because I have some questions. Okay. Um,
First of all, let me say this. I really appreciate you doing this interview with me. I don't know if everybody knows, but I mocked for you. And I'm
Yes,
very
you do.
grateful. I'm very grateful. I've been doing it for a while with you. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity that you've given me. And if everyone will please hit that thumbs up, it'll help you as well as myself on that video, please. We really
Oh,
appreciate that.
thank you. Thank you. You know what, Sister Jackie? Um, I want to say you are one of the persons, along with Melanated, who has been very supportive of me and been here for a very long time. And you told me a long time ago that you would never leave, and you have kept that promise. And I appreciate that because sometimes as a CC, it's kind of hard to navigate certain seas, and people will fall off and come back and forth. But I really appreciate those people who really stick with me and work with me through my growth, because it's not always, it get chaotic over here sometimes.
Yes, it
But I
does. But
like it
we're
like
here
that.
for you, though. We're here for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So this is what I want to ask you. What is the book about?
Well, first of all, the book is a motivational slash inspirational book, if you may say. It is a book of my quotes personally that I've came up with, and the ones that I did not come up with, I did cite my source, but mostly my daily thoughts. A lot of people don't know, but about 15 years or so, I went through something very tragic, and it made me start writing more and more and more. I have a good friend that supported me, and he still supports me to this day. His name is Dr. Peter Grimes. He is my chiropractor, and he's my personal friend, and he is my fellow churchgoer, and he supported me through my tribulations during that time that I was going through something. So he suggested one day that I would put these books, actually write a book about these quotes, because what I was doing, I was sending them out to my family and my close friends. So he was
Mhm.
my biggest supporter as to why this book came to fruition.
So I guess that kind of goes into my next question, as the question is, what influenced you to write the book, and how long did it take for you to write it? But I want to start with the first part of it. So you would say that what was his name again? I'm sorry.
Dr. Peter Grimes,
Doc.
Grimes, as in Sam.
So he was one of the people that influenced you to write this book, and
He was the only person that
oh,
influenced me to write this book.
and it was based on, now when you said that you wrote your own quotes, like your daily quotes, right? Was that influenced by the world around you, or specific people, or certain things that you saw happening within the day? Like, how did you come up with your sayings and your quotes? Like, how were you inspired to have them or to create them?
That's a good question, because I came up with my quotes because it was all of the above as what you just stated. It
Hmm.
was according to how my day was going. It was according to how my life was going at that time. Like I said, it was something very tragic that happened to me.
Yeah.
And it just depends, because sometimes when I would come up with something, I would ponder, because I also read my Bible. A lot of people don't, but I do. And I will come up with these quotes, and it depends on how that day went.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would have to totally go into another think mode and change everything that I was thinking of, that I was going to send out the day, because what I was doing, I would send these thoughts out Monday through Friday. And I would only send them out on the weekends if there was a holiday. I was doing that. But normally they were sent out Monday through Friday only. The weekends were exempt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I came up with that.
So it's your life experiences, which we all have, made into quote. And that's good because a lot of times we say things, and the things, my mother always said words are power, right? And these words, right, or these things that we put out in the atmosphere can affect a person's day. It could give them strength when they didn't have strength, right? Or
Yes.
courage when they didn't have courage. And so, would you say that your book is a inspirational book more
I
so
would
than anything
I would
else?
I would say it's inspirational also, because you never know what someone else is going through,
Hmm.
because everybody has a bad day once in their lifetime.
Yes, that's true.
So there's no different in my life than yours. The only difference is you're things might be a little bit different as to what you're going through as opposed to mine.
Right, right.
So I could say it is a motivational book and inspirational as well, because there are, like I said, it's slash motivational, inspirational, because there are some Bible quotes in there as well.
Mhm.
Not a lot. I kind of broke it up into pieces. And also, I must tell you that this is the first book that I wrote, motivational slash inspirational. There will be another one coming out after this one. So this
So
is
what?
part one.
All right. So there's going to be a part two to this book. Oh, wow, that's awesome.
There will be a part two to this book as well.
So what genre? So I feel like your book hits multiple genres. So you could probably find it like it's a inspirational sector, right? A religious sector, right? Because there's Christianity or the Bible, touches of the Bible
Hmm.
inspired. Um, and what other? I feel like it maybe
It's also listed under self
self help,
motivational, self help,
self
self
help.
motivational. Yes, that's what my
Yeah.
publisher listed all the above. Yes.
Oh my gosh. You are doing big things. I am so proud of you. I just want to say that. Like I have to say that. Um and I've been very, very like excited about this. Been wanting to do an interview with you, and you have been on the go, moving, moving, moving. But we're going to get to those type of things down the road. But right now, let's get to some other questions I have for you. Which is one of them being, how long did it take you to write the book?
Okay, let me start off by saying this. Like I said, I was going through something for 15 years. I have
Yeah.
over 8 notebooks worth of quotes. That's the
Oh.
first thing I want to tell you. It only took me a year because they were already written. So it took me a year to put those together after I found a publisher. Some things happened along the way that kind of put the publication date on the back burner for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually took me a year to get the book published.
Oh, wow. But you have been really well, maybe you probably didn't think initially you were going to write a book, but I always say God goes before us. So actually you were working, it was a journey, right? You were actually working on it with unbeknownst to yourself. So when it was time, when God said, let's go, you were ready. You know what I'm saying? So you were ready and didn't have to get ready.
Well, no, that's not true. Let me go back and say this. That's not actually true, because before this book actually came out,
Mm.
Dr. Grimes told me beforehand to put all those on a disc.
Oh, okay.
I was hard headed and did not do that. So I was up like 24 hours, 2 days straight, trying to get those quotes sent to my publisher because they were not on a disc. I was ready to go, but I was not ready to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like you had to get some well, it's always some organizing going on, a little bit of, tweaking here and there. That's natural. That happens, right? But it's great that you had started that journey, and so it was there accessible,
Yes, yes,
And
it
so
was.
that was awesome. So
Yes.
speaking of like, okay, so now you're an author, or no, you have okay, so now you have decided that you're going to be an author, right? You're going to put all your quotes together, and now here is the process. Like you're going to start your process on this journey, and we know part of the process is like the publishing choices, right? Like how we're going to publish. Is it going to be like vanity publisher, subsidy publisher, to traditional publishing, what's it called? Self
Self
publish.
publishing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's a few kind of ways to publish. Take us on the journey of how you decided to go about that, and 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 did it weigh out the way you wanted it to?
Well, first of all, it did kind of weigh out the way I wanted to publish, because I did look into, after I thought about it, I did look into self publishing. And a lot of people don't know, that have not written a book. There's a lot that goes into self publishing, because, first of all, you have to figure out how you're going to start, first of all. Let me say that. Also, when I did my further research on self publishing, I got to the point to say to myself, well, are you going to be able to do this? Because, there's a lot behind it, such as your promotionals and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
when I
because you
looked
have to
at,
do all the marketing,
you have to do
distributing, the
all the marketing
warehousing.
distribution. So when I looked into
Um,
it, I looked around for a lot of publishers, and I also looked into the amount of time it would take with the publisher. I
Hmm.
also looked into the financial aspect of how much it would be to publish a book. And
Yeah.
the longer the book, the bigger the book, the more the cost. So I finally found a publisher. They're out of New Mexico. And I contacted them and I pitched my idea to them. And they gave me the blue light. And what I want to say about this publisher, and you might want to talk about them later, they went in my direction. A lot of publishers don't do that.
Okay. Well, no, go
I
ahead.
gave them the blueprint and they went with what I said.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. So they were working with you, right? Because a lot of times publishers, like if you get a publisher, they might want to edit and tweak to what they think is, or I guess audience friendly or what have you. Um, so you're saying that they didn't do that with you. They allowed you freedom, right? And how you wanted to present, how you wanted to edit, and what would be the final outcome to the public.
That is correct because every time something happened from the very start to the very finish, they would make sure they either called me, text me personally, or they emailed me and asked me, was this okay? If it
Hmm.
wasn't okay, we did have a lot of nights, sleepless nights, let me say that first of all, because we had to get it just right. They would
Right.
offer, like I said, they would call me, text me, or they would email me to let me know, or ask me, rather, I should say, was this okay if we did this, or is this okay if we did that, or what do you think? And like I said, I gave them the blueprint and they let me run with the blueprint. Not one time did they even try to change anything in that book.
Well, that's great. And so let's take this moment. I want to take a moment to say hi to a couple of people in the chat, and they're saying hi to you, Sister Jackie. And also, I want everybody to look and see. Right, this is Sister Jackie's book. He thought, she thought, they thought, and you can go to all the many plethora of online bookstores and purchase. She is everywhere. So we have TC. TC is here. She's saying hello, Sister Jackie. And No Pressure is here. Hi, everybody. And Miss Renee, I think I spoke to Miss Renee earlier, but everybody's here to support you, and they seem to be very enthusiastic about your book. Now, there is a question that's been brought to you. Oh, hi, Red Wings Hockey. Red Wings Hockey is here as well. TC says, What's the blue light?
The blue light is let's look at it like the Kmart special back in the old days. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but the blue light means something that you're going to run with.
Mm,
That's
mm,
what the
mm.
blue light is considered. If you see a blue light, you're going to normally go to that light because you're going to wonder what that blue light is.
Yeah.
So when I gave them the okay, that means the okay actually.
Yeah, the okay.
When I gave them that okay, we ran with that. And like I said, there was a lot of sleepless nights, TC, that I didn't get any rest. I'm going to be honest with you. I was up
Mm.
sometime for 2 and 3 days. My family can actually, my son can testify to that. I
Oh
would
my
have some very,
Lord.
very sleepless nights drinking lots of coffee because some of the quotes I felt were not appropriate at the time to put in this first book. So then
Yeah.
I had to go ahead because, like I said, I did not follow the instructions of Dr. Grimes. I did not put these on a disc like I should have a long time ago. Otherwise, it would
Hmm.
have been a lot easier to pull out what I did not want at the time. So I
Yeah.
had to go in and take out each individual quote that I did not want in that book.
Yeah. Well, I think like when you're creative, even if you had it all on disc, I think that it still would have been a process because when you're a creative person and when you're putting something together, you want it just so, right? And you will know it when you'll feel it, right? When you see it, you'll know it like this is it. This is all the things that I've pictured in my head, is all the things encompassed. And so it would have made it a little bit easier, but I do think you still would have been going through the creative process. And
I would have
speaking
been
of,
going through the creative process, but it would have made it a little smoother at least. Because, like I said, I have over
right,
8 notebooks worth of quotes.
that's a
So
lot.
this first book is only 187 pages. So you can imagine, and they're not the small notebooks, they're the thick ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So you
some
can
very
imagine
thick
how many
notebooks.
more that I'm going to put into the other books. There might be a book 3, but I know there would definitely be a book number 2 coming out regarding this one.
Oh my God. Okay, like I'm envisioning carpal tunnel right now. Like it's a lot to type and a lot to get together and put together. Um what I want to talk about, I'm gonna tell you a quote. Well, there's another quote from an author. His name is Don DeLillo, I believe, and he says, "Writing is a concentrated form of thinking. I don't know what I think about certain subjects even today until I sit down and try to write about them." Would you agree with him on that?
Can you
That
repeat that
writing
again?
is a
I want to make sure I understood that correctly. Can you repeat it again for me, please?
Yes, he says, writing is a concentrated form of thinking. I don't know what I think about certain things or certain subjects, even today, until I sit down and try to write about them. So he says, writing is a concentrated form of thinking. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do agree with that. I'm going to tell you why I agree with that because, like I said, I had to think a lot because sometimes it depends on what my day was like. And
Hmm.
I had to go back and backtrack and say, wait a minute, this happened here, or someone made me feel like this today if I was having a bad day. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I had
Yeah.
to go back. I had to go back and concentrate on what because someone could, do something that irritated me, or someone could make me sad, or someone could make me happy. And I had to go back and concentrate on those thoughts and say, well, this is not appropriate for this day. So yes,
Yeah.
I do agree with him as far as saying it's a concentrated thought, and it does take a lot of time. I do agree.
Yeah. And then like sometimes like when things happen to you within a day, did it ever kind of make you kind of readjust, say a specific quote, tweak it a little bit, or add a word or two or three, or take away a word or two or three? Did it ever kind of influence like the tweaking or maybe the forming of other quotes that were already there?
You're in my head today because you're actually right.
Mm-hmm.
It did do that because it made me change some words.
Hmm.
It made me tweak some of the words that I was going to use, and sometimes it would make me change the entire quote. So you're in my head today. That was actually right. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, I think
yeah,
I'm on a roll today.
yeah,
High five, friend.
yeah.
Okay. And so look, this is another thing I want to ask since we're on this particular subject, if you will,
hmm
um about concentrated thinking. What kind of thinker would you call yourself? Are you say like critical thinker, analytical thinker, a concrete or abstract thinker, creative? Well, we know I really know you're a creative because most writers are creative, or divergent thinker? Like what kind of thinker would you call yourself? Or you are just
I'm a,
like a combination of all of them?
I'm a combination of all of them, but more so, I would say I'm an analytical thinker and
Hmm.
I'm a critical thinker because sometimes I'll think. My family tells me I think too much. Sometimes I'll think on something for a long time before I actually come up with a decision. So I would say I'm all of the above.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, TCI will be dropping the link in a little bit. Just I want to have a little time with the good sister Jackie. Then I'll be dropping the link for everybody to come up or people to come up. Not everybody because today we are focusing on Sister Jackie. Okay, in this moment, this is her day. This is her day. You know what? I would say you are. I can see you as being analytical, right?
hmm
And critical. And I can see you like in a very administrative type of way. You know what I mean? You see things through and um you can see the outcomes, right? You can see the outcomes quickly. And so I see that. I see that. Now I have took some notes, right? And it says, okay, let me see. Let me read this real quick. Okay, so in your interview, right, with Dr. Chester,
hmm
you made a statement, right? And you said I always say if everyone is thinking, no one is thinking. What does that mean?
What that means is we all don't think alike, number one. And number two, if we think alike, someone's going to get it wrong. So if everyone is thinking, no one is thinking because no one thinks alike. That's exactly what that means.
So I took it as if everyone is thinking, no one is thinking. I took it as like groupthink, maybe. Like groupthink has its place, right? But um if everybody is like expressing their thoughts or what have you, they're kind of in the moment of that, but they're not being in their individualism, which is very important, right? um So you could get kind of caught up as going with the flow of things or going with the crowd, opposed to being an individual and being able to see things in a very broader spectrum.
That could be true, but once again, my definition was a little bit different than yours. I mean, it's not that we're both wrong or either one of
Yeah,
us is wrong. What I say, because like I go back to what I said prior, everyone doesn't think alike.
true.
And if
That's true.
someone's going to get it wrong eventually. So that's what I went back to say. If everyone is thinking, then no one is thinking, because no two people are going to think alike. Not even three people. You can't even get a group to think alike. When you get people in a group, they don't even think alike because there's going to be some type of diversion there, some type of disagreement there. So nobody's ever going to think alike, regardless
That's
of what
true.
setting they're in.
I agree with that though. That is true. Um, so you said you plan or you're going to do a second part to this book, correct? There's going to be part two. Will it be like, say, I don't know if this is the proper word, like a trilogy, or if you will, because I don't think trilogy would apply. But is it going to be how many parts do you think you'll have into this particular genre of book? And do you plan on writing any other books outside of the quotes or what have you? Or do you plan to go into maybe doing novels or so or anything else? Or are you going to just kind of stay in this realm?
No, actually, there to talk about this book that we're speaking about. He thought, she thought, they thought.
Hmm.
There might be at least three parts to this, maybe four, because like I said, I have over 8 notebooks worth of quotes, and this is only
Right.
187 pages. To
Mm.
answer the second part of your question, me and my publisher have already gotten together and started on our second book, so there will be a novel wrote shortly coming out.
No, see, Jackie. You are author. Okay, you are doing. I am so proud of you. So proud of you. Again, all the Highlanders. You can purchase He Thought, She Thought, They Thought at barnesandnoble.com, at amazon.com, and all the other many plethora of places that are online bookstores. I say get a couple of them because you can read this book along with other people. Read this book with your significant other, or your husband, your wife, or what have you. You can read this book with your children. It is it's a book that brings people together. So go ahead and it's a good gift too. This is a
Can
very
I
good gift.
also add something to that, Sincere? What I
Go
want to
ahead.
add, this book was intentionally wrote. It was wrote for teenagers. I know you probably heard that in my interview as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is because teenagers they go through a lot of things that a lot of teenagers back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s did not go through.
Yeah.
We have the peer pressure, we have the bullying, and then we have the disobedience. I mean, you can just name 100+ things that teenagers are going through. But when you look at it, teenagers are not the only one that's going through certain things.
You
Adults
know.
are going through these things as well. They might be going through them on a different spectrum,
Mm.
but they're going through things as well. So when I intentionally wrote the book, it was for teenagers. Then I got to thinking, wait a minute, I'm going through something. And I'm not a teenager anymore.
Right.
And the things that I went through as a teenager, the teenies today is totally different. So I kind of tweaked it a little bit to make it for everybody, couples as well, singles and teens as well.
Right.
It
Because
could also be included for elementary students because we have some of our elementary kids that are like maybe fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. They're going through something as well, and they can read very well. So it's intended for them as well.
oh yeah, and the teachers can use it in school, right? When they're every day open up with a quote and speak on it and see what it means to the children. How can you bring this about effectively? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like this book is awesome. It can go so many different ways. I see it being something great because it is. And that it could be in schools, it could be in colleges, it could be on your table, okay, at home by your bedside table, and
Yeah,
something that you can use for your entire family.
that
This
is
is a beautiful.
correct.
I think it's a
That is
very
correct.
beautiful piece of work. It really is.
Thank
I have
you.
another question I want to ask you before I start letting people up, and then also well, first let me do this, right? So my question is this. Um, what do you do to push yourself beyond the where you are now to the next level? Like, have you ever felt stagnated? What did you actually do? Was it mostly mental, accompanied with a little physical? Because I believe that if you think a thing, you also have to put it in action. That's me personally. But how do you get to the next level?
How do I get to the next level? Is by meditating. Because first of all, when you focus on self, that's the first thing we have to focus on.
Hmm.
When you focus on self, that gives you a lot of motivation because a lot of people don't take the time to focus on themselves. They're too busy doing everything of the day. They're too
Yeah,
busy with work. They're too busy with families, or things just get in our way. It's just life, you know?
yeah. They
So
don't.
I,
They don't
I
take
take the
time.
first, yeah, I take the first time out to focus on self because when I focus on self, then everything else falls in place.
Yeah. I had an uncle tell me once a long time ago that you as the individual should be the priority, right? Because if you are not secure in your health, you're not doing well, what have you, mentally or physically, then the people who depend on you, the people that are in your world, won't get the best of you. So you have to start with self-care. You
That
have
is
to
true.
start there first.
That
Yeah,
is true.
and then you go on from there. Um, I found myself even today, sometimes when you can have a negative thought and you have to push those thoughts out because no one will think greater of you than you think of yourself. It is important for one to reaffirm in their mind the greatness of themselves, right? We were all individually made, but we were all individually made to be great within our own, realm, right? Within our own self. And that's important. So I think like books like this are very important because sometimes we have this little uh, person in our head or voice in our head saying things to us that just are not productive to our world. And we have to know how to be able to combat that because everybody has doubt, right?
That's
Um,
true.
everybody has a little this, that, another, and it's good to have people in your world, or at least a few people in your world that you can communicate with, and that you could feed off of them for positive things, right? Or they can feed off of you as well. So the communication is uplifting. Negative energy comes in so many different ways, but the biggest form of it is what we speak out our mouth, not only to ourselves but to others.
That's true. That is very true.
Mm. So now I think I'm gonna drop the link because the sisters and the brethren want to speak to you. Oh, but let me mention this real quick, and I'm gonna mention it again. Sister Jackie has a book signing coming up, and I can't I just put it in here, but tell us a little bit more about the book signing, Sister Jackie. Let me put it, if you don't
The
mind.
Sure, the book signing will be this weekend. It'll be on April 20th and 21st at the University of Southern California. It'll be the LA Book Festival, and my booth number is booth number 244. My publisher and his company will be there. And if you want to know the name of my publisher, the name of the publisher is City of Books, and it's spelled CITI, not with the Y, CITI of books.com. That's my publisher if you guys want to know.
Okay, Sister Jackie is doing big things. She's doing book signing. She's out there moving and shaking. She's being a creative, and we are so proud of her in Highlander Country. I always say that the people who are in Highlander Country are very individual thinkers, right? We are not ones to follow the crowd, if you will, and we will not always agree, but we are adult and we know how to agree, how to disagree, agree to disagree, if you will. Hey, oh, Great Pill says hi too. He's here to support and Sac Passe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me go ahead and drop the link so some of you can come up here and have a conversation with the author, Jackie Gaines. Here we go. All right. Is there anything else you want to let us know in general before some people hit the link, Sister
Yes,
Jackie?
if they did want to get in touch with me, they can reach out to me on Instagram at Jackie Gaines 82.
Hmm.
and I will be on TikTok, the real JMO on TikTok, and I will be on X, known as Twitter, as the real JMO. If anybody wanted to reach out to me.
Oh, okay. Hi, Room Shaker. I'm so happy you came through. Oh, here comes TC, the HBCU queen.
E- Oh,
Hello,
happy Sunday.
TC. Hi,
Happy
TC. How are
S-
you?
I'm great. Happy Sunday, Saida. Happy Sunday,
Happy
Jackie.
Sunday.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you. Thank
Sunday to your
you.
chat.
Thank you, TC.
Congratulations.
Thank you, hon.
Congratulations.
I
I am
appreciate
proud.
it. Thank you so much.
I am so
Are you there?
um I'm
Oh,
here.
okay. I'm sorry. It looked like I thought I lost you.
I'm happy for you and I'm very, very proud of you. And thank you, Saida. Can you hear me, Saida?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Saida, thank you, sincere, for for bringing this today. This was the perfect time, the perfect day. This is perfect timing. I have a question for you, and you kind of already answered it because I was asking, are you going on tour? Like, are you on speakers bureaus and all that good stuff? Sounds like you are. Help me.
Yes, this coming weekend, actually on the 20th, it starts on the 20th at the University of Southern California on their campus. It'll be the LA Book Festival, and my
Mm,
booth number would be booth number 244. I'll be doing book signings there as well as taking pictures and answering any type of questions anyone may have. So we're going to do the book tour. We're starting our book tour this coming weekend.
okay, perfect. Congratulations.
TC, I have
Um,
a question for you, real quick. I think I'm gonna ask this question to everybody who comes up here. What kind of thinker would you call yourself? Will you be a critical thinker, divergent thinker, analytical, creative? What will you call?
mhm,
What kind of thinker would you call yourself?
analytical.
Analytical. Oh wow, perfect. So Sister Jackie's analytical as well. Why do you say that though? I can see that with you too, but why do you say it?
Well, I say it because I have a thing with critical thinkers because they're so critical sometimes to the negative. Analytical thinkers, I think, are very neutral ground, in that we don't necessarily see race, none of that stuff. What we see are facts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then those of us who are really good analytical thinkers, then we are able to take that and then transcribe it into the day, the time, the day, meaning today or 50 years ago, or we can put ourselves in that time and place and space
Mm-hmm.
of of that particular situation. So if somebody talks to me about Board of Brown versus the Board of Education, I can literally lift myself up out of 2024 and go back to 1954 mentally.
Be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And
You emotionally connect to it, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And dig in the facts and the time at that moment in time and say that's what was going on then. I don't put or I don't persuade, or I guess you could say superimpose what's 2024 norm into 1954. I stick with 1954.
Mm-hmm. Sister Jackie, would you say, like, in relation to what TC said, would you say that you're very emotionally connected to the thoughts that you have brought to paper, to book and to paper, pen to
Mm.
paper, and would you say that you were encompassed in right when you were writing them?
Yes, I would say that because, like I said, it happened over what happened to me happened over 15 years ago, and I relived all of that. And not only that, sometimes I would do something right to this day, and a thought would come back to me. Well, this happened to me in this time right here. So yes,
Yeah.
I would agree with TC quite a bit.
And so
And,
you have mentioned a few times though, just one second. You have mentioned a couple of times, right, that something happened to you, but I've been scared to ask you, do you want to elaborate on that or no?
It's going to be in the book that comes out.
Okay, okay, so we'll leave it alone. Everybody
Yes,
stay tuned for the book because we got books to buy and things to discuss, and we get interviews over
yes,
here in Highlander country, which I'm very, very happy.
that's
But go ahead,
right.
TC.
And the one thing that I heard, Sincere, when you asked Jackie some about 20 so minutes back,
Mm.
and Jackie, you responded that there was some of the sayings, because you've had these sayings for a minute now. You have so many of them, so many books. I consider you a scribe, uh, extraordinaire. That you had to take some of those sayings, and do, and maybe reword or just revamp them a little bit.
Yes, I
and,
did.
and
I had to revamp those because, like I said, there were certain things, TC, that changed the whole entire quote.
yep.
Um, some people, and I'm sure we all have these days. Some people can get on your nerves more than others. Some people make you happier more than others, depending on how that day went. So some of those I had to take out and tweak those a little bit, and some of them I had to change totally. So yes,
Exactly. And that there brings forth the analytical thinker. So,
Mm.
yes.
um and one last thing, Jackie, what would you say to the 22-year-old Jackie, knowing what you know now? If you went back
That's a
into
good
time.
question. That is a very good question. If I can go back into time, I would change everything that happened to me. Number one, if I can go back in time, I would try to make people happier in a different way.
Okay.
And
And
I know that's kind of hard to do.
what would you say to her?
What would I say to her would be,
Yes.
look out for yourself first, but help others as much as you help yourself.
Bam.
Hmm.
Ooh.
We definitely have to take care of ourselves first. I think people, I don't know, maybe it's the generation we grew up in, but or at least the generation I grew up in.
Most definitely. It is the generation, Sincere. I agree with you because the generation now today is totally different than the one we grew up in. Totally different.
I think they're a little more selfish and also a
Yes.
little bit more aware. I think we came up in a generation where we were taught to be so polite or so this way and that way and not to cry, to present a certain way, right? And I think it took a little something from us when we did that.
Hmm. Hmm.
You
Yes, it
become
did. Yes.
you,
Yes, it
you
did.
know, it's one thing to be docile, it's another to be courageous. It's one thing to be meek speaking and another to be outspoken, right? And all
Mm.
these words have definitions, but I think they were presented in the wrong way,
Mm.
because
Yes.
one should
Very
be
Yes.
good.
outspoken,
Yes.
Very
right?
good.
Most
Yes.
definitely, Sincere. Yes.
And you could be outspoken and not be loud. You could be
Mm.
Exactly.
outspoken
Exactly.
and not be crude or rude, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Or
because when you
raunchy.
facts, because
That's true. That's true, Timothy. That's so true.
if you don't speak your truth, it hinders you. It takes away from you. You don't really see
Yes,
the full potential of yourself.
that's
Well,
true.
one of the things that you said, something Sincere, it's how it's presented to us. We, and I hear this, speaking your truth. But here, Mother Nature and Father Time are major, and they're very, very important. Everything isn't for everybody at that particular time. And so when we talk about speaking our truth, be mindful of who, what, where, when, and why you're doing it.
Right, right.
Because it's not see, everybody doesn't need to know everything.
That is factual.
and
That's
That
and
true.
what you know in our generation X, to me, I think we're the quintessential generation. And I think because we're stuck in between two generations, and and and,
Yes.
and we, the baby boomers and the Y generation. And what has happened to us is that we have learned how to acquiesce as far as technology is concerned. We weren't born with it, none of that. It was something that we had to make sure we transitioned into.
hmm
And the other piece is this: when you have a Generation X, we're so accommodating. We've been the accommodating generation. We
Yeah, yeah.
respect your elders, don't talk, don't say anything. And we've been so on
Mm-hmm.
the other end, that now that I've seen people in the Generation X that are older, They
Mm,
have gone to the other end of it. They're raunchy, they're loud, they're fussy,
Yes.
they're disgraceful, they're out of order.
Yes.
They do not govern themselves accordingly, be it whether or not they are men or males or females. They are out of order.
Yes,
So
they are.
you understand? They're out of
Yes.
order. And then they're trying to be young. And it's all of these dynamics that have occurred. And I'm seeing that here in the YouTube streets, of different, different elks of people. It doesn't even matter, to be honest, if they were, had something, or if they were from the projects. It just seems like every one of them decided they want to just be raunchy and ratchet
That's
because
true.
I
Wow.
think, yeah, I don't know what, they think that that's okay and it's cute, but, and it may make them or get them somewhere, but honestly, it really does not.
no, it doesn't. Oh, but Melanie says, what was the difference in writing your first book, Believing You Can Fly, and he thought, she thought, they thought? So there's another book? Oh my God. Melanie,
No, this is my first book that I wrote. So
that's what I was thinking.
maybe she's talking about the book by that title, because there was a book by that title.
Mm,
Mm.
Is that what she's speaking of? Because I can answer that if that's what she's speaking of.
I don't know. I was just reading it because I was like, wait a minute, I think this is Sister Jackie's first book. And I mean, I didn't know. So I had to put that. It was interesting. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's my first book. But to answer the question, believing you can fly, I can answer that though. What is the difference if you guys would like to know that? Because believing you could fly is something that was embedded in us from our generation, like TC was saying. You can always do better.
Mm-hmm.
We strive to do better, and our teachers back in the day pushed us to do better. That was a
That
big
is
difference
true.
too, because nowadays teachers don't push you to do your best. You have to basically push yourself, because there are some teachers that are out there that only are into it for the money. Some of them are, and everybody knows I'm telling the truth. And then we have some of the parents, because they're younger parents, as to what TC's saying today. The younger parents are babies now. They're having
Mm-hmm.
babies. So they
Yeah.
don't push their children as well. They are raised by their grandparents, or they're raised by their uncles and their aunts and their older cousins. So they really don't have that push as well. So my difference, this all comes to say that my difference between that is a lot of generations back then in our day were pushed, that you can go higher. What I thought is I was stuck in the middle. I didn't think I could write a book. I'm going to be honest with everybody. I did not think I could write a book. That's why I sat on this for, oh my God, over like 11 or 15 years. I didn't think
Why?
I could do this. And then
Why?
something
Well,
happened
that's
one day. I'm
wait, wait.
sorry,
I
go
want to
ahead.
know why. I want to know why you didn't think you could do it, or were you going to say that?
The reason I said that is because, number one, I never did it before, and I knew it was a lot that went into it, so I did my research. But I doubted myself, and I know that's something we should not do. But we all have those doubts every now and then. We doubt ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know exactly how far we can go. And it's something that takes and pushes you over the edge.
Hmm.
Right.
And I
Right.
want to say that's the All Father above that pushed me over the edge. Like, why are you still sitting on this? Because I'm still getting. Let me put it like this. At one time, I took a hiatus from sending out these daily thoughts every day.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I took a hiatus because life got in the way. Life got busy for me. Different things got in the way. Nothing bad, but different things happen. And the reason I'm saying this is because one day I was getting all these texts, when are you going to start this back up again? And I'm like, okay. So somebody's out there listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think people.
That was my push over the edge. Now, people need these. I'm not the only one that needs these. Somebody else needs these too.
No, I mean people get used to it because like always somebody, and it usually starts in a family dynamic, but there's always that one person who kind of like keeps everything on track or sends out things to people, and
Right,
people become dependent on that, right? Like they're like,
right.
where is my quote for the day? Like
And
what?
see, these were not only family members. The one that I'm speaking of now, these were not family members. These were other people that was in my phone book in my phone. Some
Yeah,
of these
in your
people needed
your
these as well.
contacts, in your
Yes, some of
contacts.
these needed these as well. So I'm like, okay. And I think that did it for me because it wasn't just one, it was several. So that
Hmm.
was kind of my, with God above, that was the first push. And then the other people that needed it was my second push. You know what, Jackie? Somebody else out there is listening. They might be going through something. And who knows? You might be the one to help them. That
And
was my
that's what
first.
I was asking you earlier. I was like, what pushed you or what pushes you to the next level? Because I
Hmm.
know, like, even when you're a writer, there's such thing as writer's block, right?
I did have that. And what happened when I did have that, I would put that pen down for maybe 4 or 5 days. And I'm honest with you. And that's a long time. For
Mm,
4 or 5 days, I would put that pen down and I would come back because I'm like, this doesn't sound right. Somebody might get offended by this, or somebody might not like that. Somebody might say, well, why did you say this? So I put that pen down for 5 days until I was actually sure this is what I wanted to send out. I did have
yeah.
writer's block, and I had it quite often. Quite often, I got writer's block. I did.
So so like when you have writer's block, you stepped away from it. Um, when you came back into your process, what did that look like?
It looked totally different because I looked at my quote and said, no, this is not appropriate for this type of people here because there's all types of people that I have in my phone contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So what made it appropriate, this is not appropriate for this person here. This is not appropriate for that person there. And what I tried to do was come to the middle to make sure that something was appropriate for everybody.
And that's the analytical part of you kicking in.
Yeah.
Um, but what I'm
Yes,
talking about is your surroundings. What did your surroundings look like? Did you need things to be very quiet, or are you the type of person like me? I can work around a lot of noise if need be. But I do prefer quiet. I do, but I can literally kind of like block my mind off and then be around a whole bunch of people and engross myself in what I'm trying to accomplish.
I've gotten to the age since, I'm going to be honest with you, and TC might help me out with this one. I've gotten to the age sometimes quiet is best. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the age now that when I was doing this, I had to have peace and quiet. Even people that will, my family, I would like, can you be quiet for a minute? I would have to kind of dismiss them. I'm doing this for a couple of days. And I got into the place where I had to have peace and quiet to do this. Now, if I was out, I do go out. If I was out working, that's totally different. But when I'm at home working, it's totally different as well. You understand
Mm,
what I'm saying? I had
yeah.
to have that quiet space because I couldn't think around a lot of noise. Now let me reiterate something to you because this was in the first interview that I did with Dr. Chester. She asked me about the background noise as well, if I could have white music or quiet. Now, if I'm at home, I can have music going or the TV going, but it was just something about the voices of people.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
I couldn't have that. I couldn't have that.
Yeah, because they can be
And
distracted. Well, they usually tend to want something. They start asking questions.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, TC, what were you about to say?
I was just going to say that when, as I was in college and then as I came out and then I'm doing my work and I do the work in the community, but I do a lot of writing. One of the things that I've always loved is symphonic music. And, then come to find out that symphonic music was one of the best music that if you wanted to think or, you wanted to really compose some things, that's one of the best musics because of the the music, the I guess you could say the decibels and all of the things that go along with it are
Hmm.
equate to.
Ladies, we are on the same page today because I was just gonna say, TC, what kind of music do you listen to? Um,
I'm a symphonic. I'm a Haydn, Beethoven, Mozart. You should, and I love it because, and I love opera. I love opera because
Hmm.
it tells a story in such a way, and it's very very interesting. It's a little aggressive, however, and most people in the B
Not
sector should.
aggressive. I don't think symphonic
Oh,
music.
oh, but
What
it
is it?
is. It is.
Do you like
But
Chopin?
It is.
Do you like
I agree with
Chopin?
I
Like
agree
what do
with
you?
TC.
no,
I agree with TC. It is aggressive.
it's aggressive.
You have to listen to the instruments when they play.
Right,
Well,
and yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
the instruments and
yes,
when they're at crescendo and they're going up and then they
yes,
come down
yes,
and it sounds very gothic
yes.
and it sounds very it's very very
Very
interesting.
aggressive. It
You
I
is.
mean,
know,
I guess I never looked at it that way, but yeah, because it's
hmm
the symphony, like it's going, and then you hear,
Hmm.
comes
yes,
up very high, then all the different coming
and
downs and the
and
flowing into, and
and let's analyze it and say to this modern day quote unquote rap hip hop whatever they want to call it nowadays.
yeah,
this
Yes.
this is very low hanging fruit, low hanging music. It's not even music.
Hmm.
It's there's no chorus, there's no melody, there's no harmony, there's no nothing. It's very methodical and
Yes.
Well, yeah,
it's
because
they're very
opera,
low hanging fruit.
symphony music, operatic music is thought out in a way where you're telling a story with instruments, correct? And every crescendo counts, right? Every
Yes,
beat counts, and
yes,
it would, I believe, um, attract people who are deep thinkers or analytical thinkers.
right.
I think that is the music of those who think, like their life is surrounded around thinking, right?
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
I think that's the music for those type of people, critical
And I
thinkers.
and I always said when I got married, I wanted because we have an arboretum here in Philadelphia,
Mm,
and
mm.
there are various arboretums all over the country, in various places, and it's just a place that in the city where you can go and walk, and there's so many, there's little lakes, there's a trail, there's all kind of different things. And I saw my first hummingbird in this place, and I said that I would have, of course I would have symphonic music, and I would be at an arboretum where there are so many different types of flowers and trees, hugging trees, the whole night. See, that's when I get it, I get my energy from the earth because I'm an earth sign.
Well,
And that when, and then when I get away and can go away and eat, sometimes go into the water. I'm not a sand person, but if I can get in that water for a few minutes, then I can, all of this stuff that needs to go out, I'll get in the water, let it go over, and put it over my head, let it go out, and then I'll come back, and then I'll go to casino, and then I'm good to go.
I
Right.
feel like most earth sign people do have an attraction with the water. They really do,
Hmm.
or really nature. In truth, and
Yes.
water is part of nature, so it's a nature thing. It really is. And so, with you, Sister Jackie, do you listen to operatic music, symphonic music, or are you listening to maybe say blues, or what do you
Mm.
listen to when you're writing? If you listen to music, oh, is Sister Jackie, you still there?
Yes, she's here.
Oh, I can't hear her. I can hear you though.
But I thought I just heard her say, "Oh,
Oh no, I think we lost her, but she'll come back. Um, she might
okay,
be. Okay, shout out to TC. I'm from Philly as well. And
okay,
welcome, Rob,
Rob.
the creator.
Okay, so you know about the Arboretum, girl, where the goats, they have some goats, they have chickens, and I go there all the time. And the goats have, well, that's interesting. Anyway, we're waiting for Miss Jackie. But yes, okay, Philly in the house. In
Okay,
Philly in
so
the
no pressure asked. If you wanted to write a book, where should you begin? Okay, we
mm,
have to wait. But Sister Jackie did mention earlier when we talked about publishing, the types of publishing and stuff. And so there, you can go self publishing, traditional publishing. Is what's it called? Oh my God, I can't. I used to. I just said them all earlier, but it's different types of publishing, like 5 different ways you can go. But Sister Jackie went the way of having a publisher because it takes a lot to self-publish. You have to be in charge of all the marketing, the warehousing, the distribution, all those things. When it comes to being published, right, the editors or well, the publishing company does get a part of that, right, the proceeds, like what your book brings in, but they do all the work when it comes to say the editing and the warehousing of the books and so on and so forth.
yes.
So I think that might be an easier way for people when they first start writing a book, but down the road she can venture into self-publishing, right, which is kind of like equivalent to being like an independent artist, if you will. You get
Hmm.
all the proceeds because you did all the work. But when you first come into this, or well, look, me talking like I just know so much, but I know a little, right? When you when you first come into it, you might need a little help, and that probably would be the best way to go is to find a publisher or a publishing company and go with them. And Sister
Hmm.
Jackie had mentioned earlier that she found a publishing company, I believe in, I could have swore she said New Mexico, but
Yes,
was
yes,
it
New
New
Mexico.
Mexico? Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
And so
You want to drop the link so in case she's trying to get back.
well, she has the link, but I'm going to drop it again.
Okay.
Because I personally sent the link to her because
Oh,
this
okay.
is all about Sister Jackie today, and she's been like they say StreamYard's been acting up. Now I don't know.
Yes, it has. No, it has. It's ridiculous.
It's been
Notification.
I'm like of all the days, all the days. Sister Jackie, you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today. Has it been really acting up TC today? Because it's really acting up
No,
today.
it's been acting up for the past week, y'all. Seriously,
Oh
Oh,
wow.
wow.
notifications, everything's off.
Okay. Because I thought it was me at first acting up. So I'm here. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so no pressure asked if you wanted to write a book, where should you begin? 'Cause I gave what I thought the answer was, but what's your answer?
What's my answer if you wanted to write a book?
Yeah, where
First
should
of
you
all,
begin?
I would say, first of all, sit down and take self note to figure out what type of book you want to write. That would be my first thought because everybody's thoughts are different. Everybody has went through different things. Decide on if you want to write a children's book, children's books. If you want to write any type of fiction or nonfiction, any type of autobiographies, to figure out what you first want to start with. Because, like I said, mine started with what I was going through. Yours might be a little bit different. Then the second thing I think is if you want to sit down and figure out if you want to self publish your book. That's the second thing. It should be tied with number one, I would say. And the third thing is if you do not want to self publish and you think it's a little too much, search around and find a publishing company that will work with you. Because all publishing companies do not work with us. Like I said, mine, I gave them the blue light and they went ahead and did everything I wanted them to do. And I thought that was awesome.
Um,
So those are the three things that will start to write. Anybody that wants to start to write a book, I think those would be the things they should think of first. Because start with yourself first. Figure out what you want to do and what you want to say. That would be your first thing.
now
And
would you say?
no, I
Oh
don't have a ghostwriter. No pressure. I'm looking
yeah,
at your. I
that's
don't
right.
have a ghostwriter. I'm writing my own book.
No, she's saying, are you a ghost writer? Are
No,
you?
no, no. I'm
Have
not.
you
I'm
ever?
not a ghostwriter. No,
Okay. Um,
I'm not.
would you say for a new author that going with a publishing company is the best way to go?
Well, as a new author, find a publishing company that's going to work with you because a lot of publishing companies, it depends on the type of publishing company you choose and your financial background as well. Because there's tons of publishing companies that out there will work with you financially as well. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, yeah, because
You
it
have,
can
you
be.
have, yes, because it can be pretty expensive. And I'm going to tell you, this wasn't a cheap thing to do. It just took me some time to do it. But find a publishing company that will work with you. And I am going to recommend mine because they're willing to work with anybody.
Okay, could you give us the name of the publishing company again? It's a CITI. Is that the name of the publishing company?
That is correct. The name of the publishing company is City of Books, CITI, not with the Y, of Books, and it's a
Nice.
.com. And if you go ahead and Google them, they will work with you. Because I went before I decided on this, I was actually referred, but I did look at a lot of publishing companies. I know
Mhm.
another lady that has used this publishing company, and she's very successful. She writes children's books right now,
Oh
and
wow.
her books are in Walmart. They're at Walmart.com, and they're also in the Walmart stores. Now, after I do the book tour, we're going to negotiate a price with Walmart to put my books in the physical
Oh,
store.
so they're on Walmart.com and in the Walmart stores?
They will be.
Yes.
We will be negotiating a price. Let me correct you. We will be negotiating a price with Walmart to figure out how much they're going to purchase. First of all, because they're going to
Mhm.
be purchased in bulk.
Right.
So after the book tour, that's the next step. They will be in the stores physically.
Oh my God. I could
So
walk up and be like, hi, how
they're
are
on the website right now on Walmart.com, but they
you?
will be in the physical stores very soon. Because
City
when a
of
publisher
Books.
company starts off with you, let people know that don't know this. I found out as writing this book. When a publishing company starts off with you, they don't automatically put your books in the stores first.
They don't
They
offer the
automatically
okay.
they don't offer the books in the stores first. They automatically go online to see what those sales are going to be like, and then they negotiate a price with the stores. That's how
Oh,
publishing works. If you want to get a private publishing company.
mhm.
So all the books are published online first. to give you an online presence. And I think the reason they're doing that is what I was told is because more people are online now
Yeah, this is
than
an
they are in
online
the
world.
stores. Yes, so more
It is
people
an
are online now, so they want to give you the online presence at first to get your book sales going, and then after that, they'll go ahead and submit your book sales, and they'll go ahead and negotiate a price with the stores. But what is going on with me right now? I do have a contract with 7 brick and mortar stores
Oh, wow.
that
Wow.
are willing to take my book in, and my publishing company is going to give me those shortly because they have negotiated a price with my publishing company.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
And
there are
can
six.
you?
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
There are 7 brick and mortar stores, as I said, that want my books in stores. So they're negotiating a price right now with my publisher. I don't have. They're small mom and pop shops, and then there are a couple of big ones they haven't told me yet because, like I said, most everything's done on the internet right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 7 brick and mortar stores that they're negotiating prices with now that want them in their physical location. Most of them are out of state because the publishing company that I'm working with, they're out of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Will
So if you go ahead, I'm sorry, TC.
will the company allow you to do things independent of them and their, and some of their recommendations?
They will allow you to do some things independent, but when it comes to like the books and stuff like that, they're in charge of you because you sign a contract with them. So once you leave them, then you're on your own, basically.
Okay. The reason why I
Yeah.
say that is because right now, and they're looking for people to come in.
Mhm.
There's the Congressional Black Caucus, which is every in September, and
Mhm.
the White House Initiative on HBCUs. They're always looking. There's a conference, and it's free. The bottom line is just getting there. It's going to be in D.C. and Philadelphia, and they're looking for people that are always doing presentations or uh, vending or doing a presentation in terms of launching your book awareness, all that kind of stuff. And oftentimes a lot of the elected officials will buy in bulk,
Right.
your
What happens is with that, I'm glad you asked that question and thank you for asking me that because what happens is I do have a price quote of what I don't have it in front of me, but I do have the prices of what the bulk books will cost. It starts from 0 to 99, then it goes on up. And there's a discount price that they will get if they offer those books or if they purchase those books in bulk like they will, some places will. So
yes.
that is negotiated through my publishing company because I've signed a contract with them, but they will be more than willing to do that.
Okay. And no pressure says our boo not selling books out of her trunk. You know what? Exactly. I was you know what? Oh,
Pop
and
the
I
trunk
agree.
on, Sister Jackie.
But listen, Linda,
Wait a
Linda,
minute, can you say
listen.
what no pressure said again? I wasn't in the comments. What did no pressure said again?
She said, our
She's
boo is not selling books out of her trunk, okay?
okay. But listen, if you just so happen to be, shopping in the mall one day and so forth and so on, you might want to give somebody a book, and then whatever the case may be, if you're allowed to have books
I
on
am.
your
I am. I
purse.
am allowed. Okay, I'm glad you asked that question because I am allowed to have books. So I will be
Okay.
doing that. I will be doing that shortly as well.
Okay. And sometimes,
Yes.
and I know, and I'm grateful for that. I know no pressure, no pressure is get me right. Okay. But yeah, I'm grateful for that because, and I'm just saying that is that starting September as usual, of course in the summertime most people are taking off, but all of these different organizations, they have
Hmm.
these big old, the churches have their big old conferences, and
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
has their yacht, 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 so all that. And so I'm in the process of planning for 3 of them, and
Okay.
they're looking for, as a matter of fact, yeah, they're looking for presenters, and
Okay.
they pay, the details are as instructed. But
Hmm.
yeah, but the bottom line is that just look for those kind of speaking bureau types of opportunities in and
Right.
around your area, even at your library.
Yes.
Reading,
Yes.
just reading at your library,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and reading to the children, or even reading to some of the older adults and some of our
Hmm.
and and that's what I do. I not that I have my book. I don't. It's not my book, but I'll go to some of the senior centers and we'll read and read to some of the seniors, just stuff, and they just be laughing and having fun and things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure that they would love to see somebody like yourself,
Well, thank you
self-published.
so much for that. I really appreciate you.
You
Thank you
know,
so much for that.
just
Thank you so
community
much for
And
that.
you
service.
know what? You and TC should like
I
connect,
was gonna
right?
I was
Because
gonna say that, TC. I'm gonna get your information and we're gonna hook up. We should do that.
Not a
hmm
problem. Not a
We should
problem.
do that. I really love
I
that.
have
Thank you so much.
I
TC,
don't know if
type
y'all.
your information or whatever in the back chat too, so she can take a snap picture and like have it,
Yeah, I
so
was
we
gonna
can
say,
reach
do
her.
y'all know? Okay, cool.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, we should do
so
that. We really should do that.
yeah, because this is the time for networking, making connections, connections that are beneficial and profitable, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
Mm-hmm.
and so in my eyes, mind's eye, I see you traveling the globe, with your books and tote, right? And
You
being
know,
a
you know what, sincere, I'm actually aiming for that.
I think it is a very, very good aim.
TC,
One
did
that
you just
we
see my information in the back chat there? I'm gonna put my phone number in as well.
I put mine in. It's there.
Okay, did you see mine?
Oh, okay. No, not yet.
let me
Because
see, because
I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone number in there as well.
yeah, because I
Okay.
see it right here. I see
Let me put my phone number in there as well for you, TC.
Okay.
Let me do that. I don't, it's often, I'm always down in the chat. I don't come up on the panel that much. So,
no, that's why I'm so honored.
well,
And
I've been up on the panel before, and she knows that I've been on the panel before. Remember?
yes, true. That is true. I know
But
that.
I rather just sit back and kind of watch everybody in the chat.
I'm
Well,
sure.
whenever my mods do hit the link, I'm very happy that they have hit the link and that they come up because they mostly stay in the chat, and I know that
So,
they don't just throw their time out there all the time in that manner, which is good because I'm like that too. But when we do hit your link or what have you, it means that we support you and that we want to be part of the process with you. And then and we appreciate you as a CC or individual, what have you. And so when Sister Jackie says, "Oh, she's going to come up," I'm elated, right? I'm like, "Ooh, yes,
I
yes."
know that's right. I
I'm
know that's
very,
right.
very happy.
Your mods
I
are
appreciate it.
absolutely amazing. Your mods
Oh,
are absolutely amazing. Jackie, melanated, vibrant. You have a couple more, probably one or two more, and I
Big
just want to
O
say
and Auntie and Cartier,
thank
and
you.
they're all good.
Yes.
They're all good people. Now, every now and then,
Absolutely. And
Big
doing
O might
things
get
and they're
crazy.
doing things outside of here. That's what I love. I'm at that point. It's like doing a listen, I did a presentation last year, how the HBCU, the ABCs to HBCUs in Prince George County.
Mm.
And let me tell you something, ever since then it's just been remarkable. So I am Jackie, anything and any and all of the resources that I have, especially for you presenting and going
Thank you so
places.
much.
You
Thank
listen,
you so much.
I can
And this
only
is like the
imagine.
the better part of YouTube, where people can
Amen.
make really good connections with people and actually do something that's positive, something that's profitable. Once again, things that are creative, right, and allows for people to elevate their life. YouTube is not always used in that vein, right, or in that manner.
That's true.
And
That is so true.
so you see it even on my channel, the hysterics are flying and stuff all over the place. The chaos has ensued, right? But when we have
Yes.
these type of moments, when we have these moments where we're talking about business, we're talking about creativity, we're talking about
Networking.
networking, we're
Hmm.
talking about what can we do to get to the next level. It's refreshing and it's the better, I say that better aspect of YouTube. It really is.
That is so true. That is so true. Yes, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you bringing me up because, like I said, I don't hit the links often. I
Mhm.
mean, I hit them every now and then on your channel and a couple more. I mod for a couple of channels, but the two that I mod for, the two that I mod for,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I stick with you guys, and I really appreciate you giving me this platform. That's why when I started, it helps you as well as help myself, because I want everybody to hit the thumbs up, because a lot of people don't know when they don't do that, it does not keep you in the algorithm.
Mm.
Well, I think
Mm.
there's some
So
people who
I
do know.
wanted that, because a lot of people will come up and they'll sit in the back and they'll be trolls, as we call them, and they will not hit that like button. When they don't do that, that does not put your video up in the algorithm, and YouTube knocks your video back down. A lot
Mm.
of
Oh,
people
And
don't. A
really?
lot of people don't know that.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
wow.
I feel like a
I'm
lot
sorry,
of
T.
people.
I'm sorry, TC. Did you want to say what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I didn't know that, and I know sincere.
Yes,
I didn't know that. Y'all content creators, so y'all know these things.
Thank
Wow.
you, Melanie.
yes. Well, I'm not a content creator. I'm a moderator, and I read the rules and regulations, and I try to
Okay.
keep my content creators that I do mod for on top of it, because a lot of people also don't know that they're getting rid of a lot of people's videos for the language.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, they have changed the rules
They've
a lot.
changed their rules and regulations a lot as to what we can say and what we can type in this chat.
Yeah, and Gray
And these
Pill
are
even
not
mentioned.
these are not the ones that are not just paid content creators that are monetized. TC, these are some of the ones that are not monetized. It depends on how they feel, and I think
Yeah.
Mm.
that's wrong, but that's what they're doing right now.
Well, and you also, Gray Pill even mentioned earlier, like even in relation to you being kicked off, there's all these updates and different things happening. And so you see that YouTube
Mhm.
is revamping itself, right?
Yes,
And it's trying to bring in I think, a different crowd of people,
it
what have
is.
you.
It
And so
is.
it's weeding out. It's like, the wheat from the tare, if you will.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
It's sort of like
Exactly.
what we call weed and seed here in Philly. Like,
Okay.
Exactly.
you're weeding,
Exactly.
you're taking out the weeds, but you're seeding, you're putting in some things of what you really want to grow
Right,
um,
Yes.
right.
in that
Yes.
particular area. And
And
just
you
to
have to
let,
Exactly.
dig deep. You got to pull
let's,
them weeds up from the root.
okay. And
Okay,
just to
pluck them
let
right on
Red
up.
Red Wings know, yes, Prince George County, Maryland. Yes, it was. It was an awesome, absolutely awesome event. It was one church, and now I have four churches that I'm a part of
Oh
in all
wow.
of this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
and yeah, and
Well,
it was beautiful.
TC
Yep,
is a mover and a
they know.
shaker. She's a mover and a shaker.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be a very good connection for you, Sister Jackie Gaines. And
Yes.
I think it's going to be advantageous.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. And TC, did you receive my information in the back chat?
I did. I have it, and I am humbled, and I'm humbled
Okay.
only. And let me just say, because of people like Sincere that keeps her eye on the prize. You dibble and dabble in the foolala every now and then, but then
Mm,
you bring it. But then you round it off, and then you come and you bring
He
us
does.
such a gem like Jackie, and you're probably going to be doing this every now and then. So keep it up, because people are doing things outside of YouTube,
Yes.
and we do need it, and it's good, because you never know who your network determines your net worth.
Well, that's right. That's right.
that is
That is
true.
right. That is so true. Yes.
Well,
So
I think I'm going to round this interview off. And
okay,
Sister Jackie
I'm gonna go
Gaines, do
down.
you have? Huh?
I'm going down, and thank you for the opportunity to talk to
Oh,
Jackie and
Thank you so
Sincere.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, TC. I see you around and I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much. And I'm blessed.
Same here. Same here. Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
TC. See you around the YouTube streets, as they say. Okay, our good sister Jackie Gaines is the author of He Thought, She Thought, They Thought, and you can get it at this book at a plethora of places, online, bookstores, and soon to be coming into Walmart. So when you ride through, or not ride through, but when you walk through Walmart and you see Sister Jackie Gaines, you can say, "I know that sister." Mm-hmm. You're part of an elite class of people. And you'll definitely be a Highlander, amongst other people as well. But I know for certain you'll be a Highlander because you know that Sister Jackie is our very own, and she's a warrior, and she's a thinker, and she's a producer, as you see, because she's producing amazing things. She's a very lovely person, a very good person, and whenever you see her out here on YouTube, be sure to say hi to her and give her much respect, because she deserves it all. Do you have any final words, Sister Jackie?
The final words that I have for you today are, as we're committed to following our heart's desires, are we making our dreams come true? We must decide for ourselves what we want for ourselves. The only thing that can stop our advancement in life is not being ready to move. How you start is not how you finish.
Exactly. How you start is not how you finish. That is true. I'm just so very proud of you. Um, I'm just honored. I'm honored that you came up here and talked to us about your book and your process and what to look forward in your journey, bringing us in as part of your journey. I'm very excited for all the things to come. Um, I see you as being world renowned, right? It's just the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit, or really the stars, the universe. There is no limit. It's just I'm just honored, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being a friend to me on YT, right? Allow me to share your experiences that are very positive, for the times that you've given me words of encouragement, because sometimes we as CCs have a little doubt, and you have always said things that are very encouraging, and actually for just sticking it out with me, not trying to cap me off or cradle me or put me in some kind of specific category, if you will. And allowing me to be creative, because I feel like I'm a creative, a creative thinker,
Yes, you are.
you know.
You really are.
And so,
It's funny. It's funny you're saying that because I have to kind of reel you back in sometimes.
yeah,
So don't think like that. Don't think like that. I'm always telling you, don't think like that. Don't
I
think like
try not,
that. Come
I
back
try not to
sincere. Come
be,
back sincere.
I try not to be, I try to be as positive as possible, but I am
Yeah.
human. I have those moments, and I do think I
Yes,
reflect
we
on
all do.
my day, and I reflect on how I treat people, and if I have wronged in any kind of way. And so, I want to be fair across the board to people, and that's how I want to live.
Yeah.
But nothing is perfect. You have to try to perfect it,
Yes.
right?
I want to also say thank you, Red Wings Hockey. I see you a lot in the chat when I'm mod. I really appreciate you subbing to me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's up to you. All right. So we are going to end this show. I'm actually going to come back live probably in 15 minutes and just have a general show, but this is specific to our sister Jackie. No fool la la, no craziness. This is grown communications about some grown things, right? We are talking about how to be an author and how our good sister Jackie Gaines became an author, and all the many things that are going to come down the pipeline, that are coming down the pipeline. And I hope that you receive some kind of useful information, right? In tow with the fact that Sister Jackie has put out a beautiful book, right? He thought, she thought, they thought. And want you guys to go out there and purchase, right? Buy a couple of them, give it to a friend. Gifts, Christmas time will be coming eventually, right? Birthdays are always coming. Um, just because I was thinking of you and I want the best for your life presence, right? This is a good book to have, and something that can encourage you to be the best person you possibly can be.
Thank
So,
you so
sister,
much, Sincere, for having me. I really appreciate it. I
oh,
really do.
it makes me so happy.
It makes me happy you had me up. It makes me so happy. Like I said, I'm there for you. I'm there.
Oh, and you have stayed the course and stuck to your word, and I like people like that. People who they let you be who you are, and they're not just trying to make you into something they want you to be. We're not replicas of one another, right? We are
That's
individuals
true.
with individual thoughts, and we all need to grow and go through our, kerfuffles, if you will, and our little stumbles, and then we pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and go forth a better person and a more experienced person, and one who's more developed, right? in mind, body, and soul. So always try to achieve, to be better than you were the day before, however that looks. And if there are things that need to be corrected, is the mature thing is to correct it, right? And don't be repeat. Don't let's not be habitual in bad things, but let's be habitual in good things. You have anything else you want to say, Sister Jackie?
No, that's it. Thank you for
That's
having me.
it.
I really enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you around.
Okay. And now look, I want to are you still there? Don't leave yet. Tell them a little bit more about your book signing.
The book signing will be this coming weekend. It'll be on April 20 through the 21st at the University of Southern California campus. And the name of the title of the book is He Thought, She Thought, They Thought. I will be there doing book signings as well as sales. I'll be there with my publisher. So if anybody wants to come out that's interested in writing a book, you're more than welcome to come because they will be there with me. And it'll be for the entire weekend. And you can purchase books if you don't have the money to purchase the books right there. We will have a code that will be there for you to purchase books online as well. And basically, that's what I wanted to say. Everybody come out and enjoy the book fair because there'll be lots of other authors there too.
All righty then. All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Highlander.
I also forgot to
Oh,
mention my booth number. I'm sorry, Sincere. My booth number, if you're looking for me, would be booth number 244.
okay. If you guys are out in that area, be sure to go over there and see our good sister Jackie Gaines. Support her. Purchase a book. Let her sign the book. Take a picture. Are you gonna take pictures? You're gonna be taking pictures,
Yes,
right?
pictures are going to be there as well. My authors is also going to be recorded as well. So yeah,
Oh wow, this is gonna be
yeah.
nice. So when you he's gonna give you a copy of the recording so we can play it over here. Those
Yes,
who
there will be a copy of the recording because I spoke with my publisher on Friday. He assured me of that.
Oh yeah, so we could play it
Yes,
over here so people can be part of it if they can't make it. Oh my God,
yes,
this is just a very grand accomplishment. Very
yes.
grand accomplishment, and I'm so thankful that you allowed me to be part of it. It's like I feel the aura of it. You know what I mean?
Thank you so
Like
much.
there's greatness in the air.
Yeah, thank you so much again. Thank you so much. I'm very blessed to have you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, Highlanders, we're out of here. I'll see you in about 15 minutes. I'm going to do another live and see you then. Bye
All
bye.
right, everybody have a good day. God bless.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.